I will let Evan make introductions and introduce himself, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. As you guys may know, I'm Evan Leal, the Director of Marketing here at intouchLive, taking over for Henry. What was it, the beginning of February, I took over for him.
Yeah,
So it's been about
6 weeks.
almost 2 months now.
Yeah.
So had to learn a lot of stuff really fast. So, but we're trucking along. And then, as you guys obviously know, Jason and Eris, co-founders of intouchLive. And yeah, might as well just get right into it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and start my presentation that I kind of have prepared for everybody today. There we go. Okay, cool. So, intouchLive San Diego Business Symposium 2026, which we will be holding on May 18th, 2026 at the University Club in San Diego. So, a little bit of what this call really is for. It's kind of just to kind of like align on the event, structure, the flow of it, confirm all our panels and speakers, stuff like that, review kind of like our marketing expectations, and just kind of do a little bit of finalizing on logistics. So yeah, a little bit about the event itself. Like I said, Monday, May 18, 2026 at the University Club San Diego. There's the address. The address is also on the website if you guys haven't seen that. There's a little map. So here, right here where my cursor is, this is the university, the University Club, I mean. And as you can see, just down the street right here is like the Amtrak depot. Then across the street, this is the kind of the center, the Intercontinental, I think is called, where NetD is going to be held. So just about, for what was it, Jason? It was like a 20-minute walk that we did, but
we walked fast and it was hot.
It was really hot.
It's maybe a 15-minute walk from the train depot.
But yeah,
if you're a walker, it's nice because you're on that train for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, just a little bit of other kind of stuff. It's about 5-10 minutes from the convention center, where NetD is going to be 10 minutes from Amtrak, 15 minutes from the airport. More parking details is going to be shared closer to the event. So a little bit of the agenda overview. I'm going to go out of this and go into our website. This is a website we've been building out. A little bio about the event, who's attending, topics, themes. You guys already know all this stuff. And then going down into our event schedule. So registration and breakfast is going to start promptly at 7 a.m. We're going to have a breakfast as well as like a whole exhibitor showcase with all of our sponsors and their booths. So you can eat, check out that, get some early connections going on. And then we're going to have our opening remarks starting at 8:30 to 8:45. Those are going to be made by Jason and Eris. And then we're going to go right into the breakout rooms. So we're going to have 4 concurrent panels throughout the day, so 8 total panels. So the first one is going to be starting at 8:55. That's going to be led by BBSI and our own Aaron Pollock. And these are still being built out as we go along. We're trying to have these built out by hopefully the end of next week or the beginning of April, just as more people come in and we start getting things finalized. So moving on, concurrent breakout session number 2. We're having an all women's panel led by our Jenna, and then TransUnion is going to be having a panel at that time as well. Then we're going to take a little bit of an hour break for a networking session, and then going right back into the panels. This is a fully open panel that we haven't really planned out yet. So if anybody wants to get in on that or has an idea for a topic or wants to be a moderator or know some panelists, please let us know. We're trying to get that filled out. And then we're also going to be having a tabletop experience exercise with Matt Stamper, who's part of Executive Advisors Group. And they're going to be doing kind of a cyber resilience in action kind of scenario, going through a breach and with all like the different moving parts in that and how you would respond. And then finally, we have our last breakout session. We have one led by Dom with Wilson Elser and some folks from Microsoft and IDX and Michael Silverman. And that's going to be a really good panel. Just going over a lot of, a hot topic right now of AI. Everybody wants to know. And we got some really good experts on that. So they're going to be sharing what they know about that. And then as well as BBSI and their panel. And then we're going to end with our lunch. We're going to have a keynote speaker during this time, as well as messages from all of our major sponsors. They're going to be able to come up talk a little bit about themselves, as well as our keynote speaker, and then our final closing remarks and networking session that's going to be taking place. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of what the day is going to look like. Super easy, super fun. Starts in the morning, we're ending at 3. So if you're attending NetD later in the week or later that day, you have time to go to other events, stuff like that. But yeah, Jason, anything you want to add on the agenda?
We've solidified one keynote speaker, and then all the top sponsors go ahead or can take about 5 or 10 minutes to talk as soon as lunch begins, talk about their organization and so forth and so on, and then we'll get into the keynote. We have the whole club is completely bought out by intouchLive, so there's going to be plenty of room for everybody, and they're networking. They're going to kick us out of the club around 3. So even after the lunch, if you want to hang around to 3 and, network and talk to people, the club is ours, and they just refurbished it too. So we were down there a couple weeks ago. This is the talent and the panels and the content are being built out daily by Evan. So it's a fluid, it's a fluid work in progress in terms of solidifying everybody and getting everybody on board to go ahead and get their panels, their topics, that type of thing. The goal is to go ahead by the middle of April, have everything done after the Easter holiday and spring break, because I know people will be doing that the next 2 weeks. Next week, you've got Passover, Easter, Good Friday, and then you've got spring break for the next 2 weeks. So by the middle of April, we will have everything solidified to the point where we will start to market all the panels onto social media, and Evan can talk about that in his PowerPoint.
Yeah, we're going to get onto that. But just going into like the rest of the website.
You can show some of the pictures there if they haven't.
Yeah. This is just the venue. This is kind of like the main kind of strip of the venue. Like this is all one kind of big room. Then we also have another breakout room and another large hall where the lunch is going to be taking place. So it's a really big space, and we booked out the entirety of it. So it's going to be really nice. And like Jason said, we were just down there. They fully remodeled it. Looks amazing. A great view of the skyline and everything like that. Going down, and then this is where we have all our sponsors. So this is who we currently have for all of our sponsors. You guys can go ahead and check that out as well. And big thank you to all of our sponsors so far, as well as our strategic partners. University of San Diego is going to have a large presence. They're coming and bringing their employer partnership program, which is really fun. So hopefully we get a lot of students and alumni from USD to come to the event as well. But yeah, so getting back to the presentation. Next was the current sponsors and partners. We just went over that. And then again, you guys can check out the website. That's constantly being updated as we get more sponsors and partners. So yeah, that's what we just have so far. So in terms of marketing, we still have our ongoing speaker series podcasts rolling out. We have one next week coming out with Robin Dreek, who's a retired FBI agent. That one is really good. It was a really interesting thing to listen in on. And then we talk a little bit about the event as well in that. Just in our speaker series podcast, we're mentioning the event, talking about it. So the event is pretty much integrated into everything that we're doing right now. And then in terms of upcoming content, as the panels get more solidified and sponsors and partners get solidified, we're going to be going ahead and announcing all of the panels, creating graphics for that, and announcing the time slots, who's speaking, what they're talking about, things like that, as well as the speaker and session graphics, as well as the sponsor graphics as well. So we're going to be doing dedicated sponsor shout outs closer to the event. And that's going to be pretty much posted across all of our platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything like that, or X, I should say. So sponsor responsibilities, a lot of our sponsors are in here. So it's kind of, we look towards you guys to kind of help drive the attendance, meaning distributing the registration codes that we gave you guys, whether it be to your teams, to your clients, to your partners. So just like actively inviting your network is really important. Then as well as like posting on about the event. Once we start getting those graphics made and posted, posting it on your own, not just reposts, and tagging intouchLive, other sponsors, and kind of engaging with the content that we're posting, whether it be liking, commenting, sharing, stuff like that. And then actually participating in the event, once it comes to May 18th, once we have the panelists and speakers confirmed, just preparing for those discussions and meeting with your groups and utilizing the booths that we're going to be having and all the other networking opportunities that we're going to have. So in terms of registration, our registration deadline is going to be Thursday, April 30th. Most of our sponsor codes have been distributed, so make sure to check your emails. We have those codes for you guys. And like I said, send those out to your teams. Be sure to register not only your guests or whoever you're sending the codes to, but yourselves as well. That's really important, just so we have an accurate head count of everybody that's going to be there and everybody gets a badge. And also, please don't wait till the last minute. I really don't want 20 emails in my inbox on April 30th asking how to register. So if you have any questions, be sure to send those soon for whatever comes up. So really why this matters is just because the venue itself really needs a hard head count before the event, just in terms of all the food that's going to be ordered and just kind of safety wise, they need to know. And then also our badges, we don't want anybody to go without a name badge for the event. So we have to order that before the event, obviously. So yeah, just distribute those codes, confirm registrations, and reach out if you need anything resent. If you need additional tickets, we're super flexible. Just let us know.
Before you change the slide on this one, historically, when we've done these events, to get the deliverables by a certain time, that's why Evan came up with the April 30th. We know things change and people come in the last second. Last year, when we did our New York event, we had 190 different iterations of the changes of registration within the last 48 hours of the event, or 48 hours leading up to the event. So we're trying to get in front of it. You have the codes, make sure you register you and yourself. That's very, very, very important. Even if you're a speaker, you have to register yourself. If you're a moderator, you got to register yourself. If you change or add people after April 30th, that's fine. Our drop date deadline with the venue is the 11th of May, which I think is right after Mother's Day. And we have to give the final food count and the head count to the venue. So that's the parameters that we're working in. But we have to go forward with the name badges by the 30th of April. That's our deadline. And to have all the deliverables in by then, which is right around the corner, it's about just over 30 days. So it's not that much time. So we need your help to corral, invite your people. If you need help, go to Evan for the codes. Everybody should have their codes right now if they're a sponsor. If they're registering, that registration is going to be open all the way to May 11th, but they can't get a name badge if it's after April 30th.
And if you guys don't have your codes, please email me so I can send you one.
And that's important. And I know inboxes get lost. Go to Evan and he can refresh it and send it to you guys.
Yep. All right, moving on. So kind of day of logistics. So like I said, it's going to be at the University Club. We're all the way on the 34th floor. So all the way up there. Basically check in, you go into the building on the first floor, go into the elevator, go up to the top. And then that's where the registration is going to be. So nothing on the bottom floor. You're kind of just going to go to the elevators, go to the top. And then once you walk into the space, that's where the registration is going to be. And all attendees must check in at the registration upon arrival. That's pretty obvious. More parking info is going to be sent closer to the event just because we're still working that out with the venue. So be sure to look out for those updates. We'll be sure to send those out well in advance. Like you're not going to get the parking instructions day up. It will be in advance. So yeah. Then sponsor setup, if you're going to have an expo booth or you're going to be panelists, or I guess not panelists, more just so for the expo booths, the load-in time is going to be at 6:30. So please arrive on time. So that way you're set up by the time registration starts. You can start connecting with people, all the attendees. So right now, our expo booths, we're going to be having around 10 to 15 total. We have space for a maximum of 15. Right now, we're around 8 or 9 already filled. So if you guys want a booth, please reach out to us. We'll get you a booth. Those are always great to have at an event like this, especially with as many people that we're going to have at the event. We're estimated 250 people?
About 250 people.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, they're going fast. Reach out if you guys want a booth. For the setup, we're gonna have tables that are gonna be provided, but all other additional materials, whether it be banners, signs, displays, stuff like that, you guys gotta bring on your own. Then day of contact is gonna be me. So I'm gonna make sure everybody is gonna have my phone number, email, whatever you guys need. I'll be the day of contact for that in terms of vendor loading and coordination. Anything to add on this page?
No, pretty straightforward.
Media and content, pretty basic. I mean, we're gonna have people taking photos and videos throughout the day. We're gonna be conducting interviews with the attendees, with sponsors, with panelists that we're gonna use for promo, for other events, and it's gonna be for our LinkedIn, YouTube, other channels like that. Pretty standard across the board. And yeah.
If you can go back to
yeah.
that one and then we'll do Q&A. Please send Evan who your marketing team is so he can coordinate with them. Oftentimes, marketing folks leave from prior years or you have new ones this year. Please connect him with your marketing team so the effort can be streamless. That's basically my PSA.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to work with you guys' team, so whatever photos or content that we get, we can pass along to, especially our sponsors for you guys to use for your guys' LinkedIn's and content just like that. So we want to make sure everything is distributed effectively. But yeah, now we can just open it up for Q&A. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to stop the share. Yeah.
Does AI have a question?
Does the Zoom companion have a question?
No Zoom companion. Most of you have been with us prior events, so you know how it's run and what we need, but we're always open to helping out and answering any questions for new faces.
Mike has a question.
Mike has a question. Go for it, Mike.
Hey, what's the dress code? Suit, tie, casual? What do you expect?
I mean, it's the beach theme, so you can wear your the beach outfit. Suit and tie, it's business professional.
Okay.
So, I mean, some people come in business casual, they might wear their polos or that type of thing, but we always say presenters to have a business professional.
All right, so no board shorts and flip-flops. Got it.
Well,
Okay.
you can bring them after because
Yeah, that'll be for the after party.
After 3 o'clock, everybody's going into the Coronado Bays. So, but from that standpoint, yeah, it's business professional. Maybe we should probably put that on there.
Yeah,
to give directions on that. So that's a good question on the dress code. Anyone else? No? Victoria, any questions?
No, I'm excited. And now I have a fire lit to make sure I hone in on who I'm having on the panels. So I'm on.
Yeah, it's yeah, I know you guys have a few. The getting and honing people in is the biggest challenge. And getting people, because right now it's not even on their radar to attend or or maybe it's on their calendar, but not to register. That's the biggest thing. I call it herding cats. And,
Seriously.
And what happens is it's like rapid fire, like about a week or two out, especially like a week or two out. And then people start registering and allocating their tickets accordingly and that type of thing. So any effort that all you folks can do to invite your guests, make sure you register yourself. I think we're in the 20s or 30s so far. So there's going to be a lot of folks there. So we're trying to get as many people registered, and then, they get a nice little souvenir name badge to commemorate the event. So any help herding cats or whatever, if you need Evan's help, use him as a resource to to do that. But, yeah, last year we had close to 200 people in New York, and I think the changes back and forth within the last week were over 170. It's just, a lot of people just come in at the last second, and that's just the way the world is right now. Right now, they're focused on Easter and spring break, and that's where they're focusing in, or the world events or that type of thing. But they will get to May 18th, and it's right around the corner. So there's not much time to go ahead and, get these people going. So it's a process.
Definitely.
It's a
We got
process.
this.
Other than that,
Any other questions? You can raise hands or come in. Elliot, you got a question?
No
that's
questions for
just-
me.
No, that's just his, the little, logo next. There he is. What's going on, mate?
Very well. How are you?
We're living the dream every day.
No questions. I've emailed you, Evan, but just what time our panel was, but I think I saw it was in the morning there.
yeah, and then if you guys have any issues in that, like I said, everything's pretty fluid right now. We're getting everything kind of situated. So if you guys feel like there's another time that might work better, let us know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to herd some cats is basically the answer. So I just needed to work out.
Herding cats is basically the thing. That's exactly
We'll
yes.
fill ours, no bother. But I just was trying to get a time so I can pin folk down.
Yep,
Beautiful.
yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah, next week is Easter, and you got Good Friday and Passover. All the holidays are next week, so a lot of folks are, going to be hard to herd.
Yeah.
So that's why, so that's a week that, you lose a little productivity, just to be realistic. And then you come back after it. So, yeah, I mean, anything to be proactive to get the panels. My goal is by tax day, middle of April, is to have everything done, and then we can go ahead and promote accordingly on social media. So Evan's already got the graphics. It's just a matter of the talent and the SMEs and the topics.
I'll try and get it sorted. I'm at IIPP next week in DC, so I'll have it nailed down by the end of that.
Beautiful.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
All right. Anybody else?
I think it's good. Well,
Nope, we appreciate you guys putting all this together.
yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks
appreciate it
guys
all.
for
So we're gonna record this. We'll send it out. We have a podcast we're dropping next week, and then we have another webinar that is going to be dropped a couple weeks after that. So we're spacing those out. So for those sponsors that have earmarked podcasts, go see Evan to schedule accordingly.
all right.
And then make sure you have a haircut like Anthony before. No.
I'll add that to the list.
It was the worst haircut ever, and I freaking.
It looks beautiful now, Anthony. It
And
looks
that
beautiful
looked
now.
pretty good now after grew in a couple of weeks, but yeah. It was,
Well, we could do another one later this year, space
but
it out.
I will say your makeup person really, your hair and makeup person that you brought in helped quite a bit.
I guarantee you, your haircut is not as bad as mine.
Yeah. All right, we will end the recording now. We'll send that out, and good luck herding cats.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
weekend.
much.